Hello.
Hello.
So I'm waiting for YouTube to catch up to what we're doing.
Same.
So that I can mute it.
Oh, there it goes.
There we go. Okay, cool. Hi. Hello, everyone. We're coming to you from a new streaming service, StreamYard, as you can see up next to Madalyn, wherever that is.
Not sponsored.
Where is it?
It's the other side of you.
It's on this side of
Yeah,
right
and so far, it's really easy. I actually kind of like that all of us are on camera right now.
Yoongi Neville is here. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
Yoongi Neville. Anyway, sorry, that was weird. Moving on.
Hello, everyone. We're not here to talk about BTS. We're here to talk about The Diviners by Libba Bray. Jeez.
It's the berries.
Pos-i-tute-ly.
The cat's pajamas.
Everything.
I felt like I had to say something right there, and I did not know.
I didn't have anything to contribute, so.
I don't know how. Like,
did everyone like it?
Right.
No.
Did everyone like The Diviners?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess we can start off. Well, why don't we start off with, we'll hand it over to Madalyn to give a quick little synopsis
of the book.
Madalyn's favorite series. Yes.
Yeah, so it is set in 1920s New York. It's the first book in a series, and it takes place in like the mid to late 20s, and it covers a large cast of characters, all of whom start out having quite individual plot lines, especially in this first installment. And then we slowly realize all of them have one thing in common, and that's that they have powers, which makes them what is called diviners in this world. So it's different variants of supernatural powers, and they vary from person to person. And suddenly, at the start of this book, some mysterious happenings start. I don't know, there are some mysterious things afoot in New York City having to do with ghosts and the paranormal, and all of these teenagers in the city who lead very separate lives end up all somehow getting roped into it.
That was perfect.
The wise baby.
And I guess, so do you want to say like whether or not we've read this before, how many times we've read it, et cetera, et cetera?
That's probably a good idea. Yeah. I guess I'll start. This is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This was my fourth time reading this.
Wow.
And I gave it 5 stars. I love it.
Wow.
Fun fact though, the first time I read it, I gave it 3 stars. But it's now a 5-star.
Yeah.
We love growth.
I guess I'll go next. This was my second time reading The Diviners, and I really, really enjoyed it. Both times I gave it the first time I read it, I gave it 4.5 stars, and the second time I gave it a very strong 4 stars. Awesome. But I still love it a lot.
This was my very first time reading it, and I was like very apprehensive just because like I had and loved other stuff by Libba Bray that I tried in the past, and I thought that maybe it wouldn't age as well in 2019, but it did. It was phenomenal. I gave it 4 stars. Like obviously we'll talk more about why later. But I felt like the ending was so not as good as like the 80% before it, you know? So I did give it 4 stars, but I loved it. I had such a great time reading this book. And yeah, it was my first time. Did I say that? I think it was my first time.
Yeah, this was my second time reading it. The first time I read it, though, was right when it came out in 2012. So It's been a minute. I've read each of the books like as they've come out. So 2012, 2015, and 2017, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a while. That's why I was like so stoked to do this reread, because I just have not read it in so long. But yeah, it was 5 stars for me back then. And like, I was at a very different point in my life then. I was like still in high school at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And I'm a child. But yeah, still 5 stars, still fantastic. And I love Libba Bray a lot. So
how did we all read it? What format did we all read it in?
Audio.
I listened to the audiobook, but I did read along with it a lot of times.
So did I.
Because I started getting kind of spooked where I was like, I'm going to turn this off. But then I was brave. I stuck with it.
Yeah, I know, Melanie, you're not normally an audiobook reader, I know. So, like, how was the experience of this one?
It was good. I really, really enjoyed it. It probably is the best audiobook. I mean, I don't have that much like history with audiobooks, but it was the best I've probably ever read. And I was really scared about that because everyone told me Sadie was like their favorite audiobook of all time. And when I read Sadie, I like couldn't listen. I did not like the audiobook narration of it. Well, I didn't dislike it. Okay, this is a really unpopular opinion, but like I just didn't think it was as great as everyone said. So then when reading this, I was like, there's no way it's gonna be as good. It's gonna be just like fucking freaking Sadie. And then it was actually good. It was really, really good. I was very impressed.
Yeah. I also listened on audio. I have only read The Diviners as a series. I mean, I've only read the first 2 books, but when I read them, I only listened to audio. And I intend to only do that moving forward. The audiobook is just like perfect to me.
So good.
Yeah. I also listen on audio.
Y'all were saying, is LAIR of Dreams book 2?
Yeah.
It is.
What do you like more, Jane? LAIR of Dreams or The Diviners?
I like the story of The Diviners and the characters and relationships of LAIR of Dreams, but I mean, we'll get to it next month, but I did not love LAIR of Dreams as much. Of the 2, it's my least favorite. I mean, I've only read the 2 though, but
I was going to say, full disclosure, Chelsea and Madalyn have read all 3. Jane's read the first 2, and I haven't read any. Well, now I've read the first one, but you know.
Yeah, LAIR of Dreams, I mean, we'll talk about that next month. The live show for that is going to be on Madalyn's channel. I think it's mirrored, so Madalyn's channel? I don't know. Whatever. It's going to be on Madalyn's channel on Friday the 13th next month.
Wow,
yeah. It's going to be a spooky time. But yeah, so we're going to read that. We are also, should we just announce that now before we get into spoilers for anybody who wants to? We are going to be doing a buddy read of the second book as well. It's going to be from Sunday, the 1st of September through to Saturday, the 7th, right? 7 days, I think. And then we'll post the page breakdown on Twitter. Unless we already have. Have we already done that? I don't know.
I did. I can't know. I haven't typed it.
Well, then we'll post it. It's not up yet. And it's less pages per day now. And it's going to be a good time. And so we'll finish it on the 7th. You should have like 6 more days to finish it up if you don't finish it with the read along. Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Excited.
Cool shit.
All right. Should we move into spoilers?
Yeah.
All right. If you don't want to be spoiled for just the first book, Diviners, we're not going to talk about, we may theorize. Listen to maybe Melanie's theories because she doesn't know anything that's going to come.
I have a theory. I want to share it at some point, not right now.
Yes, I know your theory, and you should definitely share it.
But we're going to move into spoilers now for the Diviners. So if you don't want to be spoiled, now's the time to go. Thanks for coming, hanging out for a little bit. But we got shit to talk about.
Yeah.
And we're going to just go ahead and move into it. Now, where do we want to start?
Yeah,
the very beginning. Like, that was spooky as all hell. Like, I was like, the audiobook's gonna suck, and this is not gonna be scared. And then, like, right off the bat, like, what's her name? January
Lavoy.
She was like, hold my beer, hold my fucking white claw, because this is good and spooky. So.
The claw, apostrophe claw.
The claw. Although I will say, the only downside of the audiobooks is the very beginning. Also, I'm sorry, I have my Invisalign in, so the lisp is gonna pop out. But listening to the audiobook, the only downside is the opening scene, the Ouija board. I was just like, I don't know what she's fucking saying. There are too many letters, like confusing in my head. I was like, I'll figure it out at the end.
Did you figure it out?
No, I just kept listening. I mean, it was fine. It all worked out. You don't need to know what the Ouija board says, but like, I was just sitting there at my desk at work, like the math meme, like.
Well, one of them is Wrath is come, Armageddon, Babylon, whore.
Wow.
And then whore.
I did catch that one. I
hold the keys of hell and death. The dragon of old. Fuck, it makes me scary. Just fucking ugh.
Yeah. Also, when they said, like, what's your name? Like, Naughty John. I was like, there's no way this is this guy's name. Like, this has to be, like, a troll. There's no way. But, like, actually, what? Naughty John. It's, like, haunting my dreams.
That jingle still freaks me out.
Yeah, it's terrifying. And I also like one thing that Libba Bray did with the first chapter of this book that I love when authors do in their first chapter is they put it in the perspective of someone who's like really not a big player in the story, like not a player. I love when authors do that. So yeah.
Same.
Also, when the lady was like, "Oh, let's close the summoning circle" or whatever, and then like the typical dude was like, "No, it's cool." I'm just like, "Bitch, go close it."
Close it. Let's see what notes I have. Most of the notes I took were literally just like exclamation marks and me being like, foreshadowing.
There was so much foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Read the future books in the series, and obviously like no spoilers, but there being a Jake Marlowe reference. Chelsea and I were texting about this in the first chapter.
Yeah.
Before like any context is established about him.
It's like page 2.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, I have not read the third book, but just the foreshadowing for LAIR of Dreams was wild, and things that I'm sure will become important later. I clocked a lot of that and was just like, oh, okay.
You'd be surprised how much that happens in this book directly relates to LAIR, not LAIR of Dreams, Before the Devil Breaks You.
Wow.
Which is like, that's a big gap in between. You know, like I'm going to be so excited to reread this after reading King of Crows.
Oh, that was me. Like, again, I don't know anything about this series, but every time a crow would come into play, I'd be like, I know what that cover looks like. Like the whole book, I know, you know, I'm like, Kaz Brecker, hello. So, what else? What did you, I mean, this is going to be a hard one, I guess, but like a lot of people told me that they didn't really like Evie. They thought she was annoying, but like I instantly loved her as well.
She's my favorite character.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. I love her.
I swapped favorite characters in the middle.
Jane's not having a good time.
She's not my favorite. And the thing is, like, I'm sure I expect that to change for book 3. And I understand Evie as a character in book 2. That doesn't mean that I don't find her annoying.
She's very
I appreciate what she's supposed to like represent and what her journey I think will ultimately be. But in book 2 especially, no spoilers again, but like she a little rough sometimes. I think also because of the like listening to January Lavoie, and there's a lot of parts of we're not talking about LAIR of Dreams. Anyway, I like her in The Diviners, except when she makes some very questionable decisions towards the end.
Even
Evie's not the best friend, you know?
Yeah.
She's not the best friend. But yeah, she's still not my favorite. She's not one of my top 3 characters.
It's so interesting.
Not only that, you're throwing away your best friend for the Clockwork Army. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, no.
Throwing over Mavesy, man.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Chelsea?
It's so interesting. Like, again, we're not talking about LAIR of Dreams, but like, it's funny to hear Jane say like she doesn't like Evie in LAIR of Dreams. Madalyn and I love LAIR of Dreams Evie.
It's
so much.
She is so extra, and like everything she does in that book, you're like Evie, but also you're like Evie. Yeah. It's yeah. And there's a particular scene at the end of LAIR of Dreams that I'm so excited to reread.
I feel like I was very biased going in because like right off the bat you find out about the loss of her brother and stuff, and you all always know I don't like to read books like that, but you know what I'm saying, like she's obviously like, was close to her brother and stuff, and like I don't know, so that kind of like won me over like the empathy side like already, you know.
Yeah, Evie definitely is the character that sees the most growth. Obviously, like I find like Evie again, definitely, we're talking spoilers now, so like whatever. Evie definitely fucks up when it comes to Jericho, you know, and like fuck, Mabel is nothing but a good friend, and Evie's just a fucking dick. But she grows, like she's a teenager, she's growing, you know.
And I think that's why I like her, is because she reminds me a lot of who I was as a teenager, and like all of the things that she said about like, you know, she just feels like she's too much, but she's also just never enough. Like I think that's so like relatable and human, and I love that in character. Yeah.
I think I appreciated her a lot more on this reread of The Diviners. Like there were things that I picked up on the second time that I think the first time I was just too busy taking in the story. But like you said, Madalyn, like there are multiple times when Evie talks about how like everyone just tells her that she's too much, and like what if this is just who she is, and why can't being too much be enough for some people? So like, you know.
Yeah.
And like Madalyn said this when we were reading it like in the group chat, like her parents are just like bye. Like New York.
I love how it's like, my 17-year-old daughter is causing drama. Let's send her to New York City.
Yeah, we can't control her here in suburban Ohio where we have her under lock and key. Let's send her to live with a distant relative in a creepy ass museum in the biggest city in the world.
Oh God.
Woo!
This is a question I have for you guys too.
What? Go ahead, Melanie.
Well, I was gonna. Oh.
No, you, Chelsea.
I was just going to say, do you want to share your theory while we're talking about Evie and her parents?
Yes. And after that he reads, we will talk about Sam in just a hot second, because
there's a lot to be said.
We have a lot to say about Sam. My theory, and this is something that I clocked like on the first time around when I read the series, I clocked it, but I caught on even earlier on the reread. And my theory is that Uncle Will is Evie's dad. I believe that Evie is his daughter with the woman who, I can't remember her name now, his like fiance, whoever, who died. I think that Evie is his daughter with her. There are a couple moments in the first book alone that really had me like side-eyeing, because when, oh my God, what is it? Sister Walker comes to the museum and she asks Evie how old she is. And Evie tells her 17 and she like smiles sadly. And it's like, whoa. And then later on, Evie says something about like being brave or whatever, and Will is like having a moment with her and says like, yeah, it's a family trait. I was just like, Dad? Dad? So I don't know. I will keep my notes as we go through this project together, but I wanted it on record at the very beginning. I'm calling it. If that gets dropped in book 4, y'all can send me a check. but yeah, I'm betting on it. I'm betting on it.
Bet on it. Bet on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep notes as we go through, but that's my top theory for the series.
I have no theories. I'm just I'm on the ride.
Well, the rest of it, I'm like, my brain can't keep all of this. Like, it's too much for me. But that one tiny little minute detail, I'm like, that's it.
Well, I was gonna ask you guys, like, do you think that your like, full disclosure for the chat and stuff, like, before we started doing this, like, I asked them their top 3 favorite characters, just because, like, I just wanted to know where I would fall, especially because me and Jane do have similar reading tastes. And pretty much, like, all of them said different things, but they were all very adamant about not Jericho. So I went into this kind of with that preconceived notion already. And I will say this, that I'm able to like remove myself a little bit to say, I don't think I would dislike Jericho. I was always on the defensive about him because my friends didn't like him, where I'm like, I know all of them really like Sam, but Sam had like no time compared to all the other characters, you know, like you get to see like a little glimpse of his, like what happened with his mom and stuff like that. And obviously like I'm invested. And when they had like the fake, like we're husband and wife thing, I was like eating that up. But I'm like, I wonder if I would have felt differently not knowing that my friends dislike Jericho. And obviously the end, it's like, don't be like shitty to your friend. What's wrong with you? But like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, do you guys think, my question is, do you guys think that your dislike of Jericho started in the Diviners, or do you think it's carried on throughout the series?
I'll say personally, when I first read the Diviners, I liked Jericho. I was like, I mean, Evie, that shitty girl, but like,
yeah,
I can see it. But in Lair of Dreams, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. It's Sam Lloyd for me or nobody. Like,
that's good knowledge.
Talking about Lair of Dreams, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole. But in book 2, everything changes, and I fell in love with Sam Lloyd. Because in book 1, I'm like, who's this fucking skis? But and then I'm like, Jericho's a nerdy boy with like cog parts, and he likes books. But then in book 2, I'm just like,
Did you see Heather's thing? He has big mal energy. Facts.
But I thought you were going to say Mal. I'm like, can we not? That's wild though, because like definitely like the star and ship for me was Stella in Memphis. So I'm like, damn who? Like, so I'm like very excited to see how I feel about it. Okay, I will say this too. I knew that. I believe there is a pansexual Asian character, and that's like the driving force of why I wanted to read the Diviners so badly. And then when everyone was like, oh, she's not in book 1, I was like, oh, but then they kept showing like the little glimpses of like the dreams with Henry. And I like texted Madalyn and I was like, am I pulling here? Am I, you know, so like
that's her
foreshadowing.
Yeah, she's my favorite character. I was so surprised because this is only my first time rereading book one. So it's my first time reading it since I read LAIR of Dreams. I was shocked at the amount of mentions of Ling that we get.
Yeah. And her and Henry in the dreams.
In the dreams. And in other people's dreams. Yeah. Evie's dream was like.
And when Henry's just like, wake up, Evie. She's like,
oh yeah, he's like, you need to wake up. I was like, oh no.
I want to know everything about that. I am so intrigued by that and how they know.
You'll learn a lot. The whole book is.
Oh my god! Wait! I'm sorry, Smitten for Fiction. I don't know your real name, but I do not want that to be true.
Wait, what did they say?
Yeah. And so she never believed his brother is dead, but how old is Sam and how old would James be if he is alive? I will riot. I will burn these books.
Libba Bray wouldn't. I have too much faith in her at this point.
And James is way older than her.
Too many authors have done me dirty on the incest twist.
Yes.
I'm not having it in this series.
We've had it up to here this month.
Our incest quota has been met this month. It's been exceeded this month.
This lifetime it's been met.
Yeah.
Hashtag Feast of Spooks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say through half of the book, maybe even more than half, Memphis was easily my favorite character. Like easily. And the only time that it switched is when we got Theda's background story. Mm-hmm. But before that, I was Memphis trying to protect his little brother. He's got healing powers. I'm like, oh my god. Like he was just like my wheelhouse, like perfect character, you know?
Yeah. I love Theda. She's my favorite.
Oh
Theda's
yeah.
the best.
And Theda like is already great and she only gets better like as the series continues.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And obviously her friendship with Henry and stuff like that. That was the best part of the book, in my opinion. Yeah. Like literally, even Jane, we were driving out of Choice Music, and there was a piano shop right there, and I was like, I want to buy him a piano.
We had a quick emo moment. It's like, I'm gonna buy you a piano, Hen.
Their friendship is so like it's that kind of like pure love and like that you just see so rarely like in life and in books, and it's like so heartwarming,
like platonic soulmates without question.
Yeah.
I love Henry. I'm so excited to carry on. I'm so excited to see Melanie's react, like just to experience this with someone who doesn't know what's coming. And shit's gonna hit the Madalyn hosts this. Shit's gonna hit the fan come book 3.
Oh yeah. In a big way.
See like how someone's theories play out, or like, it's interesting.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, no, it blew me away how well it held up in 2019. Also, Madalyn said this is like full credit to Madalyn, like how smart Libba Bray was to have the concluding book come out in 2020.
Oh yeah.
We love a crafty bitch. Like so good, so smart.
Yeah.
All right, what other characters haven't we talked about then? Mabel. What do we think of Mabel? Because what did I tell y'all? I was like, she's annoying. She's my least favorite. And then she started getting done dirty, and I was like, I feel bad. I feel bad for Mabel. Libba Bray did that to me. Shit.
Mabel's kind of there to get shit on. It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
But she comes into her own a lot more in later books. But
so I didn't know if she would ever be in books again. Like it was just kind of like a glimpse, you know.
Wow. Oh no, she ends up being a pretty big part of the story. But I don't like her in book 1. I just gotta say it. She's just boring.
Well, I think she's intentionally written to be this foil to Evie.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, boring little Mabesy with her communist parents who won't cut her hair. Whereas like Evie's a gal about town. But like I always feel so bad for Mabel. Like rereading this book, I'm like, Evie, you treat people like shit.
Yeah.
But
no spoilers really, but like Mabel uses that in the future. You know, like Mabel comes into her own in a certain way. Takes her fucking ever.
Intrigued.
She sucks in book 1. Just full like
forgettable, I would say. There's like not a whole lot remarkable about her in book 1.
Who else?
I know I have all the sacrifice names. I'm like, who the hell was Ruby/Ruda? And I was like, ooh. We didn't talk about Will, the uncle, or
I was just gonna say, I don't know how much I can say, so I'm gonna be really vague.
James quaking.
Well, no. It has nothing to do with Jane's theory.
Oh, okay.
I just like I want to know how, and I don't remember if this comes about in later books, so this isn't like Will and Jericho can't come to be together. Like we just know that Will has.
Sorry, I misheard you very much.
That's me. I was like, wait.
Yeah, they. Fuck, I think Jericho's old enough, maybe. And oh god, we're not gonna go there.
We'll not.
We just know that Will has taken in Jericho.
Oh, so how did it come to be that Will takes Jericho in?
Yeah, and I can't remember if something is explained, so I should just shut up. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I am so intrigued to get more information on Will and Project Buffalo and all that stuff.
It's coming.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I assume so, like in book 3 or whatever. But like those little bitty drops, like breadcrumbs that you get in book 1, I'm just like, was this like a failed first attempt? Like, are we gonna have like a second coming kind of situation where it's
there's
like
so much that you don't even know that she's like hinting at.
I want to ask a question, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know. You can write it in this. You can write it in our private.
Yeah, let me open the private chat.
But anyone that we've met in the Diviners, has there been a death? Like, am I going to get attached to any of these characters, and that they're going to be a death? I'm very curious.
Don't.
Yeah,
I just posted something in the private chat.
Yeah.
Chelsea does, like, I'm not telling you.
I'm very curious about that.
All I said was not saying for anyone who can't read the private chat.
Don't spoil that, guys, in the chat if someone does die, because we don't want to know. We don't want to.
Obviously, we don't want to know who. Yeah, no, don't ever say anything like that. But I was just curious if, like, I'm getting attached to these little weasels, and then, you know what I'm saying?
I will say that, like, I mean, having only read half, fully expect there to be at least one major death.
I didn't think so until
I was saying major, but like that's a big ass cast of characters. They're not all gonna make it, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Maybe it'll be a Crooked Kingdom situation.
That's what I was that's what I was shooting for. Because like I said this right off the bat. I think there's a lot of parallels with Six of Crows in this series. And I said that right off the bat. Like right when I met Memphis, I was like, he gave me like a lot of like vibes with Kaz and or Jesper too a little bit. But I see a lot of parallels, a lot of parallels. I mean, even the Crow, but you know what I'm saying? Just like the vibe of it. So I was very curious. Chelsea's been doing that every theory.
I know.
Because I don't have a poker face, so anytime anyone says anything, I'm like, I just like whether it's true or not or whatever. Like I don't want to put ideas into anybody's head, so I'm just like,
yeah. No, you're good. It was probably a bad question to ask. I'm like, I really like fucking shot this White Claw. Like this is almost gone, so I'm like, maybe that's why. But I'm also weird with movies and shows. Like I don't mind being spoiled with stuff, so I was like, I'm just gonna ask it. Like. But when you look at these cast of characters, I'm like, none of them can die. They all have such important roles.
There are a couple I don't think I would miss.
Okay.
Jericho can choke.
Jericho can.
Oh yeah. But I knew what was the part? I have it written in my notes right here, and I know I said it on Instagram. There was a part with Jericho. He was reading to her or something. Do you guys remember? Mm-hmm. And I was like, as soon as that happened, I'm like, he's gonna be the cock block. Like as soon as that happened, I'm like, I've read too many YA fucking stories in my life. I'm like, oh, he's a love interest now. He just read to her.
I did want to say, I was just looking at my notes, and one thing I love about the series is I feel like in every book, like obviously it's a pretty heavy like series, and there's like dark like themes being explored, and also it's creepy. But like in every book, there's one scene that just makes you like laugh out loud. I feel like, and for me, I was dying at Evie going to the New York Public Library and having to like try to figure out how to do research, like, full on listening to the audiobook and like cackling to myself.
I find the books very funny.
Yeah. They're very. She's witty. I think Libba Bray has like a very like acerbic wit, and that shows in like her social commentary and the humor that she puts in.
Definitely.
And to hold up so many years later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she went there. She was not scared to, and it gave so much props to her for when it was published. She really did a good job.
Yeah. And I feel like if anyone has read the Gemma Doyle trilogy, which don't get me wrong, I love that series. But it's my problematic fave. Like I totally recognize the like issues that series had, especially in terms of representation. And I feel like in a lot of ways, like Libba Bray has righted the wrongs that she did in that series in the Dividers.
Now tell me, I don't know if we talked about it, but I know you hinted at it. Like you think there's a parallel with that series.
Well, yeah, so I don't think this is a big spoiler. I actually don't think it's a spoiler, really. But if you have read book 2, there is a cameo by Gemma from the Gemma Doyle trilogy.
Oh, damn!
She's about 50-ish, I think, at the time that these books are set. And somehow we literally, it's like very brief. We get no context really. But we somehow know that she's in New York for one reason or another. And there's also one thing that's different about her, but I don't want to say in case people think it's a spoiler. You'll figure it out pretty quickly when you read LAIR of Dreams, though. So I think that in book 4, we'll get another Gemma appearance because she has experience with paranormal. Like and I'm wondering if the two worlds are connected. Like, if these ghosts are like also existing in the realms, maybe, or that's where they're gaining power. So yeah, that's my theory.
I love that.
Yeah,
Madalyn, let me ask you this. I don't want to like I don't want to get into any spoiler about LAIR of Dreams or whatever, but is this Gemma scene, is it in a dream or in like the
it's in the real world. It's in a post office.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I feel like there's a message to be had there in that setting.
She's mailing a package to Felicity, who's also a character in the Gemma Doyle trilogy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so brief. Like seriously, none of that is like any kind of spoiler. Like it's
like kind of thing.
Wow. I love that a whole lot. I love it when authors do that.
Yeah,
me too. If I was an author, like I mean, I guess I get wanting to keep your books like distinct or whatever, but like I couldn't help it. I would just always have a cameo.
I would do the same thing. Alice Oseman style. I would do the same thing.
Let's chat about another character who I think what was that?
Sir, there's fire in my apartment.
Okay. Okay,
I was like, is Jane having a tornado? Is that what that is? Like,
sorry.
No, you're good.
I apologize. But let's talk about Blind Bill.
I had a feeling that's what you were gonna bring up.
Same.
I fucking hate
He bamboozled me.
But like, again, it's so weird to talk about a first book in a series because I like don't know what I can and can't. Yeah, well, I do know what I can and can't say. Yeah. But that motherfucker, man, like,
I know, for real. Well, like the thing is like they kept showing him, and so I even wrote in my notes. I was like, he's gonna play a bigger role because they keep showing this guy. And then, but I didn't expect it to be like in a negative light like that. I'm still not entirely sure exactly what he can do, like draining the power, sucking the life. But I don't know. I did like it just because it was unexpected.
I kind of like. I thought it was really interesting that, of course, like in typical storytelling fashion, he's portrayed very like sympathetically at first. Like, oh, poor Blind Bill just wants his numbers to come in, and then you find out that he was a diviner, and that like whatever happened to him on that plantation in Louisiana, and he was taken away, presumably by Project Buffalo. But then when he starts like stealing Isaiah's power, I was like, oh shit, no. Like I always found him to be very suspicious, just because like. I don't know. I think Libba Bray writes him in a way that like you feel bad, but you're also a little bit like, why is this guy popping up in weird places?
All I can say is that he, to me, as much of a fucker as he is, one of the most interesting characters.
Like, agree.
What Libba Bray does with his character is just like wild. Never see it coming.
Yeah. And the way, I mean, obviously it's been forever since I've read the first book, so I keep saying like, I didn't remember this, but it's because I read it in 2012. But the way that he's like beginning to slowly ingratiate himself into the Campbell's life, like it's really insidious, especially considering like future books. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, insidious. That's the perfect word for what it is.
That is such a good choice for him. Yeah, it is crazy. Like you said, Madalyn. Like, I mean, yeah, he really works his way into that family, and like, so evil.
Yeah.
Oh, and Memphis finds out my boy's gonna snap. I'm gonna be here for it. That's probably really anti. Oh my god. I still don't really understand entirely, and I'm probably not supposed to, Isaiah's powers, because like at first when they are at someone from the church's house, I don't think it's the aunt, I think it's just someone from the church, and it's Memphis and Isaiah, and like you're like, oh, he can read cards, so it's like, oh, okay, like something like that. But then like he's like, don't step on that chair, don't sit on that chair, and then you're like, oh no, he can see the fucking future. It's not even like he can. So, like, I think that there's going to be so many ploys. And y'all know I'm a sucker for that little brother saving storyline. And so I just like, oh, Memphis is going to do it to me. I just know he is. And if anything happens to Isaiah, just seeing Memphis hurt is going to kill me.
Also, Melanie, just FYI, that woman, Sister Walker, I can never remember her first name, Margaret. Her first name is Margaret Walker. She becomes important.
Yeah.
No way.
She's someone to know. She's not just a random lady at the church. She's actually like.
That's so well woven in. That's
every character.
She goes to the museum looking for Will. She's connected to Will. So
wow.
Every single character is important.
Yeah. Well, that was me too, because I wanted Memphis and Evie to meet so bad, and then we were getting on like day 4's reading and stuff, and I was like. You know, and then when Memphis goes to the museum, I was like, okay, here it is. I'm so ready for this. My body's so primed for this. And then he just like
she takes you out.
Damn it.
Yeah. I mean, it happens though, and it's great.
Yeah, it's worth the wait, I would say, because it slowly builds, and like book 3, you're like, oh yes, this is what I came to this series for. Like,
book 3, Jesus.
I want a ragtag crew of paranormal misfit teens.
Really, I guess the end of book 2, kind of.
Yeah,
I'm also so curious why Memphis doesn't have his powers anymore. And what a story too! Like he couldn't use it when he needed it the most. I'm like, my baby, you know.
Yeah. I'm so like, it would always really freak me out when he would try to like, when he tried to heal Isaiah and his mom or whatever, and he ended up in the crossroads.
Oh yeah.
With like, and that's what Theta dreams of and stuff. And it's just like,
yeah. And I will say too, one of the creepiest scenes too, like Naughty John even added into this, was when Isaiah was talking to the one guy and he's like, don't go under the bridge. And I was like, don't go under the bridge. And then, you know,
he went under the bridge.
And like, I promise you, my ass, if a little kid told me that, I swear I would not go under a bridge. No. If it was a random little kid, I'd be like, no, not risking it.
And man, like, it's hard to find good trumpet players out here. That's the hardest
Goddamn.
Unless you're from Flint, Michigan and want to be in a ska band.
Oh my god.
I hope no one's from my hometown in this chat.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say another theory Jane had, kind of, or like a question that me and Jane were talking about, was when Sam showed up at the museum. So we know that Sam's mom was involved with Project Buffalo, and we know that Will was involved with Project Buffalo. So Jane was like, did Will know who Sam was when he came to get a job at the museum?
Yeah.
Oh. I had that in my notes. I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
I did not.
Because like, I mean, I guess you could claim plausible deniability because Sam says that he changes his name afterwards. Like his name is Sergey. But but I think Will 1000% knows more than he's letting on when it comes to Sam and Sam's mom and everything.
Because it just doesn't make sense that he would hire some scoundrel off the street, knowing that the museum's in turmoil.
Yeah,
you know, and
money, like
exactly. He was too like easily convinced, and he was like, "Sure, we'll hire this vagrant. It's fine." But like,
when your niece is like, "He kissed me, Unc." Like,
yeah, right. He kissed me and stole my $20.
$20 now would hurt.
Fuck, that's like $100.
I know.
I think that Will probably did know because they wanted to take. Didn't they want to take Sam? And the mom was like, "I'll just go, or else they're gonna start asking." Oh wait.
Jada's having a moment.
I just completely sorry, my brain just broke for a second. These books run together for me.
Anyway,
forget
The Diviners by Libba Bray. Who else can we talk about? Let's talk about Betty Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk
Who is
about
Betty Sue. Oh yeah. Y'all dank memeing? I don't get it.
No.
It's Theta.
That's Theta's name.
Oh.
Oh my god. I was just like,
Skank fans in here. I see y'all.
We can absolutely.
We're not cracking open the second White Claw.
I was waiting for the chat to be like, catching up.
Yeah.
The chat's gonna fucking roast
Okay.
her. Oh no, they're all like, who? Oh my god.
I'm like, did I get the name wrong? I didn't get it wrong.
That's her name. No.
That's her name.
Yeah. What did you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we had some people talking about, like, when we were reading those pages about what happened to her in the past. I'm gonna specifically not say what it is because that person hasn't gotten that far yet. But he's almost there. But
I feel like that's the character, even though I was so like emotionally invested, and like I said, I would say that she's probably my favorite, even over Memphis now. When you look at my notes for each character, I literally have on her dancer and then like past stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's so weird to me where everyone else, even Henry, who gets way less page time, I still have on here like he's roommate, he's musician, he's queer, he's a dream walker. Like I have all these things, but with her, I have nothing. So I'm like, it's so weird how she like, I don't know. I don't know what her power, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to know more about it.
Well, I think it's because her ability ties in so much with her past
and her trauma.
Probably like that's the most like memorable thing.
Yeah. I really I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I really loved her backstory, and I feel like Theta is a character like Melanie. When you said like you had the least amount of notes on her, I like that made sense to me because I feel like Theta is a person who like you only know as much about Theta as she wants you to.
Exactly.
And I feel like she reads that way. Like Libba Bray writes her that way, and I love that about her. It's something that like. I mean, I think I can relate to about her character. But like, I just loved her story. And like, it felt like you'd get further along in the story and it was just like layers and layers. But I love her relationship with Henry. And yeah, she's my fave.
That just shows like how methodical Libba Bray is with her writing, you know? It's like, it's absolutely intentional.
Yeah.
You know?
And it shows how much she like, again, like not to like suck her off too much in this chat, but like again, these were published so long ago, and like what like Neville Yoongi up in the chat is saying, like there was like some good rep in there for like you know historical abortion rep, hello, and then also just like what it means to like get out of an abusive relationship and cycles of abuse and stuff like that, and it was so important. Also the fact that she was young as hell when she had to marry him and stuff, like it was really well done. And again, Libba Bray, like. And then to take this character and like put her in like maybe an interracial relationship, you know, a start of a racial relationship, and like that's talked about on page 2, and I'm just like, damn, where are the blessings? Like she really was thoughtfully done with this.
I also think it's interesting that like as you learn more, if I can figure out how to chart this, as you learn more about Theta's character, she, as you read her, becomes more emotionally vulnerable. So she starts a relationship with Memphis where she's always been very closed off before. Like she befriends Evie in the beginning, but it's like I said, like good time gals, they go to the shows and whatever and go to parties. But then like she becomes more open to other people and like talks about her problems, and also like becomes romantically open to Memphis after we learn about her backstory and what her trauma was.
And also, like, I will say this right now, August 16th, I think they have the potential to be like OTP status for me. And I've seen a lot of people on Goodreads say that they're like that there was like a relationship in here that came out of nowhere, and like I'll agree that it was a little quick in the hotsy-totsy, but I loved it so much. And again, maybe it's just because both of those characters were my favorites in the first book, but like I instantly shipped them so hard. Like y'all,
maybe they're talking about Evie and Jericho because
that
Dana and Memphis is right.
See, I think Evie and Jericho's was more built than Memphis and Bada's.
Thanks, I hate it.
I know. I'm like, I mean, you know, I don't know.
Oh, and Octavia. Amanda makes a good point. I do wonder what her deal is.
Yeah,
I feel like Memphis' mom was a diviner.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Aunt Octavia feels some kind of way about that. She must have been at least aware of it. And like maybe that's what drove her to be more fervent in her religious beliefs, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hang out back here.
And just in general, like you know, we obviously get to see that Memphis could not save his mom, and how like they didn't want him to try to save her for quite some time. Is wow, the white balance, it really changes with this, right? Oh my god. But yeah, I feel like their whole entire family, like I said, like little brother's a mystery to me, the aunt's a mystery to me, like actually what happened once the mom passed away is a mystery to me. Like there's so many breadcrumbs that were like so deliciously laid out. But like I'm still hungry. You know what I'm saying? Big mood.
All right. Does anyone have any other topics they want to discuss? Any questions? Like what you got, Boas?
While we wait for stuff to roll in, can I just say the King of Crows, all of the scenes, terrifying.
Oh fuck yeah.
Terrifying.
Absolutely.
There was the one that was especially scary to where did I put it? I marked it and I was like, this is fucking terrifying.
Where it's like across the country, everything is going down.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrifying. It's so scary. Like freaks me out so much.
Yeah.
Or for me, the scariest part, like it's on page 364, when Evie goes back to like the like army scene.
Oh, in the jury.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
gas.
Pack up your travels and fuck, like no thank you. But oh my god, can you imagine like being Evie in that moment? Like not only the trauma from her brother, but just that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I talked about this in the group chat too, but when Evie could hear her mom or whatever say, like, I wish it would have been her, not the brother, I was like, that helps with your theory too, Jane. But
you know why? Because Evie ain't her kid.
But that gutted me. That truly gutted me when that happened. And I'm just like, and she had to hold that in, not telling anyone this big secret, you know?
Yeah.
What was the brother's name? Oh my god.
James.
What did James call her? Like, I remember there being something like weird to me about an interaction that James and Evie have in the book. Like maybe when she's going in the dream or whatever. I don't know.
Old girl?
Oh no, I don't remember.
That's what he wrote on a note.
Oh,
but I can't remember.
I don't know. Anyway,
I don't remember.
Okay, this is another character we didn't talk about. What did you guys think about the reporter? What's his name? Eugene? No, that's the guy that died.
What else? Eugene.
I don't know. Like my dumb bitch ass, each time it'd be a new character. I'm like, oh, they're in the basement, a new character. I'm like, they're gonna die this chapter, Melanie. What are you doing?
Oh, do we think that Evie's brother is not dead?
Ooh, I thought that, but now I thought that. I really did think that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was going to pull, like, you know, someone can speak to ghosts or something like that, and he's going to be part of the crew. Like, I thought that would be the brother.
What if, wait, I need to see Chelsea's face right now. What if he was in that study with Jericho? What if he was one of the soldiers? Fuck you, Madalyn. Those eyes.
I literally...
Madalyn was just like...
And
you have no idea what that means.
I don't. I'm just talking out of my ass at this point.
Y'all are playing with fire, trying to ask about things that are happening.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wild speculation. We'll see. And also book 3's on my channel, the live show. So I can just sit here and be like, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, Jane also has this like knack for like her crackpot theories coming true.
Mm-hmm. Always. I caught the reveal in King of Scars on page 80.
Yeah. And this is that's not the first time.
Yeah. I will admit it is my superpower.
That's a good superpower.
Very
That's a good divine power. Okay, so I have no idea what the reporter's name is, but did we like him?
Yes, Woodhouse.
Oh god, okay.
The thing is, like, he doesn't go away, Melanie. He's a recurring character.
Yeah.
Oh,
He'll be back.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he's whatever. He's a reporter. I mean, he has his own best interest at heart. But he's not like the worst character by a long shot.
No.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked the dynamic with Evie, and I liked just like seeing her take her own and be like, "This museum's gonna close the fuck down. Like, I need to do something." You know, I liked the whole dynamic between them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I was gonna ask you guys too, which diviner, I think I know Melanie's answer, but which diviner's power is your favorite?
Mine is Memphis's. Well, if it works, full blast, OP-ness, it would be Memphis's.
Shit.
I think Evie is mine.
Same.
I don't know if I would want to do that.
But
I think memory so much.
Yeah.
Like, what if something traumatic happens to you?
I mean, I wouldn't want to do it, but it's the coolest one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if like I a lot of stuff like this in video games and stuff. Like I don't know if it'll be like there comes a point where she can't turn it off, where she's like, holy shit, this remote watches League of Legends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and she gets stuck. Yeah.
I think the dream walking would be cool, but I don't know enough about it yet, you know?
Yeah. It's really cool, but it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But I wouldn't want anyone to know I had healing abilities.
Yeah.
I kind of like Sam's.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has the most practical usage.
Yeah.
And I could like run into BTS that way. You know, like don't notice me there. Park like,
oh my god, fancy you here.
Behind the curtain in the hotel room.
I like how I took it to BTS.
I'm surprised it took you 51 minutes and 55 seconds to get here.
Me too.
I would not want Isaiah's power at all, ever.
Scary.
Oh,
not only that,
powers.
Like, real too. I wouldn't want that either.
Speaking of powers, what wait, let me look at your faces again. What about Will's power? Like, is Will gonna have a power? I'm presumably so if he was involved with Project Buffalo.
I didn't even think about this.
All I'm gonna say is that people in Project Buffalo don't necessarily have powers.
Chelsea's book is upside fucking down.
I know.
That's me. Are people like is diviners with an ability that's passed down where Memphis and his brother both have it? You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, maybe Will does have it, daddy or uncle, you know?
I'm sorry, that got me.
And that makes sense too. I saw someone in the chat say that maybe James is in the in-between, which I love purgatory shit anyways. Again, the Catholics just popping up here. But
what if he's in the realms, Melanie?
Yeah, you know, and then you're like the dream things are scary. So I'm like,
the dreams are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Lair of Dreams is probably the scariest.
There is we were just talking about the Naughty John song. There is a song in Lair of Dreams that, honest to God, gave me nightmares. Like it just messes me up. I thought Lair of Dreams was so scary.
Lair of Dreams really uses repetition to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like it just makes you sit through the same thing over.
Oh my god, the voice was like. Anyways, next
one. No thanks.
Next
so
one.
Is there? Well, I guess not you, Jane, but Madalyn and Chelsea, you both like book 3 the best.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I like book 1 and 3 equally, but I love book 3.
My enjoyment grows as the series goes on. So I love that they're all 5-star books for me, but my ranking would be book 3, book 2, book 1.
Interesting.
Also, to the people in the chat, I'm telling you, like, it was so hard to read this so slowly. Like, I thought it would be, like, like I instantly was like, we should have done this in a month. We should have done this October, 3 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
It was that good.
I mean, we can control our own destinies. If we want to fuck shit up, we can.
Yeah. Then there'd be such an even longer wait until book 4.
Mm-hmm. I know, catch me fucking rereading all 3 again in December.
I think that I will honestly reread them, because just noticing all of the foreshadowing that I obviously didn't know enough to catch when I read them the first time.
And on audio, they really fly by.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That 3x speed kicks in.
Catch us. I love our booktube content. We're like, let's do this readathon. It's like, come December, read Diviners Read Along.
We did it again. The catch-up round, speed round.
Yeah. Part 2.
We're reading 3 books in 3 days. Let's go.
No sleep.
I mean, I can tell. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god.
But I am excited. I'm really, really excited to meet the new characters in book 2.
I think there's only one new character, right?
I was trying to be vague.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, like major characters.
Major.
I mean, there's another major character. Well, there's somebody else introduced who is important to someone in the book. I think Madalyn knows where I'm going.
Yes, I got you.
I don't know if Jane's gotten there yet.
I don't think so. Pop it in the private chat.
So,
it'll be
what do you guys think the creepiest death? I don't care. You can say it in the chat. What did you guys think the creepiest death was? The hands, the what?
I guess it wasn't a death, but the scene in the cellar at the end.
Oh,
actually, when Evie and Mabel go in the house when Naughty John isn't there, is maybe even scarier.
I told you all when that piece of coat ripped.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. She wouldn't have mentioned that if it wasn't.
Yeah. She throws out the line like, Evie's like, it was too small to mean anything anyway. And you're like,
yeah, that was so spooky to me. The foreshadowing of that was so spooky.
When the walls of the house come alive. Oh God.
I think it was creepy, the build up too, with the kid when they were like, well, his friends hold him out, number one, which I'm like, okay. But then it was like, if you can retrieve this walking stick, you know.
Was one for me,
and then he was like, let me see your hands. I was like, bitch, get the fuck out of here, stranger danger. What's wrong with you? But it was SOL anyway.
I ain't no Italian. So stupid.
Okay, Jane, you doing this 20s accent on this shit is like it's sending me. I'm like sent.
It's not a 20s accent. I'm just doing a funny voice. It's not a 20s accent.
Every single time we'll do like the lingo.
No.
I very much appreciate it.
I can't wait for you to discuss book 2, Jane, because I think you're.
Oh my god! Yeah. I will have notes.
Yes. I'm ready.
Very funny.
Melanie, Heather asked in the chat, "What about the ending you didn't like?"
Oh, for me, I just felt like there was so much buildup. This whole entire book is like what's happening with these killings, and the way that we broke it up, it was just like magic too, because it would always end with a killing and then start with a crime scene. It felt like, and so I don't know if maybe it was just like that, like poor scheduling or something, but I just felt like every single day I was just building up and loving it more and more and more, and then that final day I just felt let down. Like I just felt like the end was not the payoff of me getting so extra anticipation for the rest of the time, you know. I still think it was a good ending, and I still think it definitely, like, if I wasn't doing this readathon, I would have picked up book 2 immediately, you know, but I just feel like the ending was so lackluster compared to the build-up.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's definitely fair. I agree. I also think that, like, she could have, I mean, I don't know what she has in store in book 4, you know, like, she probably could have gone a little harder.
Yeah.
So, like, it was definitely, like, I didn't, as scary as it was, I didn't feel the stakes. You know, like, I was like, well, there's 2 more books, you know? Like,
and I feel like how she left it, like, the cliffhanger in this book is the Jericho Evie shit. So it was kind of like, that kind of felt bad too. It felt resolved, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not judging Evie. Like, she is a young kid, and, like, it kind of is like, oh, well, it's not like Mabel was with Jericho, you know, and stuff like that. So it is like some weird gray area situation, but it kind of like, that's what you leave off on. It just is a bad taste in your mouth.
I kind of wonder if, because there were 3 years between the first and second books. I kind of wonder if originally she had to do one of those endings where it felt conclusive enough, but could also continue because maybe she hadn't signed a deal for the next couple of books yet. Just because publishing was in a really different place at that time. So I could have totally seen that happening.
I bet you're right. 100% I bet you're right.
Yeah. That doesn't change the fact that it's a little lackluster, but
yeah. Audra, read in the comments. It is like they will not be making arcs of that book.
Yeah.
No
they
way.
Generally speaking, don't make arcs of the final books in series, but especially highly anticipated series conclusions will like never ever have arcs.
Yeah.
But I bet people will read it, like different authors and stuff, and tease. That's what happens with Queen of Nothing. I know like 3 people. One of them's Lee Bardugo. I don't know Lee Bardugo at all. Read Queen of Nothing ending, and it's just like, oh, you know, I want it so bad.
Yeah, well, the authors will share it with their friends and stuff, but the layperson book reviewer will not be able to get it.
Yeah, but you best believe my Audible credit in February is going right towards King of Crows. I might even take a day off just so I can fucking.
And it's by Little Brown. Like, good luck.
Yeah, good point. Also,
yeah, I would totally take a day off for it too. We could all do that, and then we could have a live show.
I'm down. Although that's going to be right after our trip. So
yeah,
like I said, it's not like, you know, we could all do it together. It'd be cool.
Yeah, that could have been fun.
And that was, what did you guys think of the ending? Having reread it, did you guys feel the same, or since you knew it was coming, like, what did you think of the ending?
I think because I know what's coming next, and like I've been disappointed by it before. It was fine. Like, it's definitely not. It's the least interesting part of the whole book.
Yeah.
I love the backstory about John Hobbs, and like I love the like creepy cult weirdness.
That was a scary thing too.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
I almost felt like we could have leaned a little more into that. Like, I kind of didn't understand the connection between what was it called? The church, whatever, when John Hobbs was a kid versus the new one. Like, I didn't understand how it came back around and like the connection between them as much. But that was just me.
Yeah, I don't really get that either. I think a lot of how you were saying, like, she could have gone harder.
Yeah.
YA was very different in 2012.
Yeah.
And I think she probably pushed the envelope a ton as it is.
Yeah, that's
right.
She did.
So I'm really like, she definitely, like, things go places in the third book, and I'm hoping they go even further in the fourth book.
I love that, like, the thing is, like, when you think back to like 2012, the political climate in 2012 versus today, like, I'm sure in 2012 people were like, oh, cool. But like now it hits different. The political commentary hits so differently reading it today. And the fact that it is still just as relevant, if not more so than it was in 2012.
Oh, yeah. Way more.
And like how, you know, like the public outrage in certain aspects in 1920 versus how things are today in like 2019 and 2020, and how we're having some of these same conversations all over again. It's like,
that's the scariest part of the whole.
Yeah, that's the real fear is that we have not actually made any progress.
Yeah. And the thing that I love, and the thing I think makes it even creepier, is like, I think that Libba Bray like draws a very clear line like between all of the paranormal happenings in New York that are going on, and the fact that America was built on so many evils, you know, slavery, genocide, you know, native removal, like so many. And I think that she makes that like very clear that one has caused the other. And I love that concept of like America kind of having to pay its dues.
Yeah.
For, like fucking over for so long. Yeah. So I just like love that connection. I think the social commentary in this book is just like brilliant in general though.
Yeah. And then the author's note where she talks about like, you know, a lot of this book is from my imagination, but there's a lot of it, the scarier parts that aren't.
Yeah.
And like in reference to KKK and the eugenics, and like it's fucking Libba Bray is a genius.
It's also really interesting. Like, I picked it up this time around it as like a combination of foreshadowing and this world building social commentary is like when they go to Chinatown and eat at the restaurant, which is owned by Ling's parents, they talk about the Chinese Exclusion Act, and that then becomes a bigger part of Lair of Dreams is the experience of Chinese immigrants in America, and like just that little tidbit, so you know that going into book 2, how the Chinese were persecuted against and the prejudice against them in the U.S. at this time.
I just thought about something I want to talk about in the Lair of Dreams. The Lair of Dreams live show. And I don't want to forget. There's a lot of similarities between this and the Crimes of Grindelwald.
Oh, like, yeah, write it down.
I have not seen that movie.
Yeah. Really?
She broke up with J.K. Rowling.
Oh, right.
Bitch ain't making another dollar off me. No more.
I wish.
Yeah. Also, in that scene that Jane was talking about, Ling is their waitress, which is really fun.
Yeah, I asked Aldo if he, like, because he was like, oh, I'm just wondering, like, how many other diviners are going to be. And I was like, there's been one that's been teased, like, that you don't even know. And he was like, oh, is it the girl from the restaurant? And I was like, how'd you know?
Yeah.
And
I was just gonna say, people in the chat were talking about how like unsettling the like eugenics movement was, and everything that's described in this book about the eugenics movement actually happened.
Yeah,
like this whole like building fitter families for the future, or what the fuck ever, like actually was a thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
And precursor to Nazism.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a big old mess. When they were in that tent and talking to the nurses, I found that so unsettling.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps one of the creepiest scenes of the book.
And it's always creepy when you bring, like, again, like the cycles and like how it like just breathes down, and you see those little, like the little boy being like, I got this, you know, like I'm this much.
I am goodly, or I'm a goodly something or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna find it again.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. Truly fucking terrifying. We love an American melting pot.
Yeah.
Until you actually see it.
I think that was something that really struck me, is like some of the scarier parts of this book, or the parts that like really struck a chord with me, were things done by normal non-powered individuals.
Yes.
Like when Evie and is it Jericho are at the fair, and the little boy throws mud at her and calls her harlot, and then all the men start screaming harlot at her, and no one does anything. That scene was really upsetting to me too.
Yeah. And that's right after the eugenics thing.
Yeah. And you kind of like talk yourself out of it. Like even right when it happened, I was like, this isn't going to escalate to this. And then it did, you know, and even further so when they were like digging up the grave and stuff. And like, it's just so fucking terrifying and like such a reality.
It just makes you wonder, like, how much darker this book would have been if it was an adult novel. Oh, fuck. You know, like, I'm actually, it makes me glad that this is young adult, you know? Because if it was adult, like, it would be hard.
Libba Bray, I think, could pull it off, but a lesser author I would not trust to write this story and have it be adult fiction, because I think it would be very gratuitous in the amount of like violence and inevitable sexual assault that would happen, because people are incapable of writing adult without some things happening. But yeah. Oh, also a very good point. You Neville, the characters feel like they could be there. Yeah. I mean, this could be a new adult series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wink, wink. But.
And I was going to say too, like about all the social commentary, I think it's even more striking because it's contrasted with like the popular perception of the 1920s of like, oh, it's in glamour. And like we do definitely get those scenes. But like the contrast is what really like makes this a winner for me. Because it wasn't like, it's like people nowadays who are like, I just want to go back to when America was like great.
Yeah.
Even in the 1920s, a beloved age by everyone and all media, like things were not great for the majority of people, I would say.
No. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's when people are like, I feel like I was born in the wrong decade. And it's like, look, we may have had poodle skirts and milkshakes in the 50s. We still had racism.
Yeah.
It's always been a problem. Yeah. I don't know. I think that there's this like real glorification of time eras, and you see this in the Diviners, but also looking at books like sorry, I just realized I did such a Madalyn hand movement. In The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi, that's like a big point of like why she wrote that book, is like the Belle Epoque in Paris was actually a really horrific time for people of color and things like this. And so yeah, I think I love when authors do that in a book. They take a really beloved time period and kind of turn it on its head and make you look at the really ugly parts of it. So yeah.
And again, the Libba Bray did this like almost 10 years ago. It just adds
that is crazy.
Layers.
Is this like the third book, the most recent book that she has published? Because I know that there's the one like the Beauty Queens and stuff,
This was after Beauty Queens. This came out in 2017.
Okay.
I know that she's published an essay in a collection that I read since then. That was nonfiction. But I don't know that she's published anything else.
I think this is her sole focus right now.
But
thank God.
More Gemma Doyle is coming. She posted on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just had to throw that in there.
She's probably been done with King of Crows for a long time.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that she probably just fucking wrote them all. Like just from the way that they're done. Like I'm sure she outlined like fucking crazy and then just fucking wrote them.
Yeah, that's not a series that you can like wing it, You're like, hopefully it all works out.
Yeah. What I was gonna say too is the fact that she confirmed more Gemma Doyle just confirms that it's going to you're gonna get
right. That's what I'm saying. What else was I feel like I had something on the tip of my tongue that I was gonna say, but I don't remember what it was. Jane is making us laugh in the
yeah.
Okay, hold
on. Anyway, we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes now. Maybe we'll start leaning towards wrapping it up. I mean, we've been fucking going though. But if anyone has any other topics specific to the book they'd like to discuss, now's the time to bring it up. Yeah.
Oh, Sam's nickname, the little fox.
Yes.
Love that. The Hotty-totty. I loved that. I love anything like a pub setting, and like a speaking. That was amazing. Loved that. Adored that.
Yeah, it's all so well researched too. Like you can just tell like the care that she put into this setting and into the research process for this. And like I was talking to my coworker who like always asked me what I'm reading, and I told her what I was reading. And she brought up like a good point that I hadn't thought of. She's like, like I've never thought about what a teenager living in New York City in the 1920s, like what their life would have been like. Like that's just a perspective that like I've never thought of. And I was like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That is really
every freaking freshman high schooler in the United States, it's like The Great Gatsby. That's like your glimpse at the 20s, and it's a bunch of like, rich white kids, and symbolism. I think that Libba Bray plays with that too. I think that she definitely like plays with like she knows like most kids had to like learn that green rain. There was a scene I was talking about with y'all when it started raining. Do you remember that? Because I was like, that's such a big thing in The Great Gatsby. It was like renew, new beginnings, and then like maybe it's at the end. I can't remember, but I was like, oh, Libba Bray, she done knew.
She knew.
She's just so fucking smart.
Yeah.
Like, and everything is intentional. If like, it's just there's nothing in this book that's a coincidence,
Yeah.
Even like, the biblical references were so well done and so smart too, and like the passages that she did pick and stuff. I mean, goosebumps. That's like scary as shit.
Yeah.
Plus, the quality of her writing is so high. Like I especially noticed this in like the transition passages, like at the beginning of a new chapter where it would kind of set the scene. I was like, this is so like lyrical and beautiful, and this is why I love Libba Bray.
And you can 100% picture, like there was never a moment where it was vague. You know, like everything is crisp and clear, and I know exactly where they are. I know exactly what they're doing, what they're wearing. You know, like
I agree.
Okay, well, I'm curious about this now too, just because, you know, Neville Jungi was like saying how like Henry's queer rep was done like well, and there's like never any homophobia or like backlash on that. Is the word pansexual used in book 2?
No. I actually don't know like if Libba Bray has confirmed elsewhere that Ling is pansexual. She's queer. And has a relationship with a woman. And she's also asexual, right? Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love that so much. Oh my god, yeah. Because that's even like Cassie Clare with like Lily Chen. Like she like pan, but then when we got that short story, Cassie like
yeah. She totally like could be pan. I could totally see her as pan. I just don't think any specific identifiers are used.
But that's super cool. Okay, that's good to know. I was just curious because that someone asked about the crow in Memphis. Madalyn, what do you think of the crow in Memphis?
What was this? Oh yeah, for 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, like, I mean, obviously, I don't want you guys to really answer this, but how can you lose your powers? You know, like, how can you not have your powers anymore? Like,
that was an okay one. I didn't need the book.
Yeah,
I didn't know what you were gonna ask. I was just getting ready.
Does Chelsea know this? Because I don't.
Just wasn't sure where you were going.
I really love Memphis. I really love him a whole lot.
Obviously, there's a lot more to come in future books. There's a lot of book left. Each book is over 600 pages.
They only get bigger. The audiobooks are like over 20 hours for the next 2. LAIR of Dreams' audiobook is 21 hours, and Before the Double Break Shoe is a full 24 hours. Oh, wait, let me confirm that real quick. I may have just made that up in my head.
I have it on Audible. Let me see.
Me too.
Wow, that came out Audible.
Audible.
My mouth.
Audible. Before the Double Break Shoe is. Oh, I'm sorry. Before the Double Break Shoe is 21 hours and 25 minutes. LAIR of Dreams is 20 hours. Where the fuck did I get 26 hours from?
Maybe you saw the timestamp for the fourth one.
Is that what the fourth one is?
I don't know.
Shit.
Is it even out yet? I don't think so. It's probably
not.
It's probably not even made yet.
Was Blind Bill part of the brothers?
What did you ask, Melanie?
Was Blind Bill part of the brothers?
Like the Brethren? Is that what you're asking?
Oh.
Blind Bill is a very important character. And we'll talk more about that in coming live shows. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dun, dun.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
Jane.
Sorry, I saw some. Sorry, I'm being a bad live shower, and I'm on Twitter right now.
No, you're fine.
It's okay.
Better be BTS related.
It is.
Okay, so I didn't ask you guys. Okay, so I felt like ending I'm just gonna change my answer. Memphis was my favorite character in this book. He was my favorite character in this book. Who was your favorite character in this book solely? All y'all. And everyone in the chat too. Especially Jungi Neville, because I really want to know.
I'm Evie.
Same.
Theta.
They're
shipping. That too. We just get like the top and bottom going. All right. I was very curious if you would pick Sam. That's what I was hinting for.
No, not in this book. Not in this book.
His time's coming. No, don't worry. Fave boy hours coming soon.
Dude, I like. I mean, once again, not to talk about LAIR of Dreams too much. I swooned so hard in that book.
There's some good scenes.
My favorite romance trope.
Oh yeah,
makes it difference.
I also just really liked it when she took his jacket and she's like, "You want your bring me my money if you want your jacket back." I was like, "Yes, power play him." Like I love
him so much.
Yeah, you can say a lot about Evie, and she might not always make the smartest decisions, but she has everyone's number. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's a teenager, you know, like she makes
she mistakes.
She's not a very good friend at the moment. But I can't say I probably wouldn't have done the same thing in high school, you know, like
But when Sam finds out what's a brewing. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, anyone that follows my Goodreads reviews, I love me a good love triangle. I love me a good angsty love triangle, so I'm here for it.
Well, get ready. Love.
Especially if my ship is already sailing and this is just like extra bonus content, you know? Oh yeah, I will go hard for that.
Jericho, as far as I'm concerned, Jericho is fucking Tamlin. So,
what? No, it's just not what I was expecting you to say.
That is such a reference. I can't believe you brought fucking Avatar. How dare you?
We have to cleanse this chat.
Fucking Tamlin.
That's how much Jericho sucks.
Fucking yikes. Oh my god.
Yeah, I read some YA fantasy once.
I thought of being honest had years. Fucking Tamlin. Oh my god. Ooh.
That is, so would you say Sam is Rysand or no? Are we not going there?
Oh, no. I don't want that comparison to go any further. But yes, he is.
Fuck yeah.
He's definitely reason for the book. Yikes.
Okay. Let me clear my phone real fast.
Although there are no mates in this series, praise bless.
We haven't had book 4 yet, all right?
I will. Libba Bray will be canceled if she pulls that. And don't do that to me, please.
And then Will imprinted on Evie, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah, Evie has a child with insert love interest here who ages rapidly and imprints on Uncle Will, and that's how that goes.
Oh god,
I can't even remember now.
Uncle Will, who's also her grandpa,
aging rapidly. You say?
Is this a Sierra Simone book?
What?
What?
Nothing. I was being
nothing.
mean.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, you did.
Let's see. Any other questions in the chat before we go?
You guys want my unpop? No, I don't know. Maybe I should.
Hit me.
Go for it.
Say it, Melanie.
I wouldn't mind a Tamlin spinoff, and
Melanie.
And y'all can say what you want. Akawar, it was a shitty book, but just be happy, Farah. That was the best line in the whole fucking book. Okay, you gonna act like it wasn't? It was.
How did we get here?
Don't tell her you want to say it. Now I'm on the internet saying this. You're like, Stan. She likes Asian Manon.
Oh my god.
I haven't even finished that series. I can't believe you are dragging that into this live show. Oh my god.
Can we buddy read them? Because I never finished either.
No.
I still have the whole series up there because I haven't let myself let it go yet.
I have it right here.
I unhauled them. Well, I never even owned the whole series, but no way.
I own all of them. I own up to the 6th or 7th, whatever the second to last Throne of Glass book is, and I own all 4 of the Mist and Fury, whatever.
Are you all really not going to read Crescent City or Moon or what the fuck it's called?
No. Do you think Chelsea or I would read that? No,
never.
Wait, is that her new book?
Her adult. Reinvent the new adult genre with that book. Okay, Red, White, and Royal Blue. Who?
Okay, if it has sex in it,
well,
I'll consider it.
Well, that's all her books are.
That was the best part of A Court of Mist and Fury.
It fucking was. Like, no spoilers, but Rysand and like the fake slave stuff. I'm like I don't even care.
The wings.
Anyway, The Diviners by Libba Bray.
We just wanted to let people peep the group chat. Our friend dynamic is so great because it's always 2 and 2. It doesn't matter what the topic is, and I love that it's me and Chelsea right now.
It's rarely me and you.
It is. It is rarely.
I was talking about this in LA. How no matter what, we always have one other person on our team.
Yeah. It's the best.
I love you guys.
I love you all too.
Can't believe I saw all of you last weekend.
I can't believe y'all.
shameless plug for Melanie. If you like the four of us, I don't know why.
God bless you.
We're doing a live show on her channel on her birthday, which is
I went the wrong way.
27th in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Tuesday on a Tuesday. Oh my God. Okay. It's about BTS and all the eras. You know what we've never done before that we could like really like tease people with?
Mm-hmm.
Only the three of us know who's Madalyn's bias.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not even sure Madalyn knows who her bias is.
I forced Madalyn to pick one in 5 minutes.
She picked well. She picked damn well.
Is this the clickbait that we're using for this live show?
Who's Madalyn's bias? Revealed.
Oh no, Leah, don't say anything. Leah, it's your bias too.
No, Leah.
It's not Jimin.
We can talk about it as part of the live show, how to determine who your bias is.
Ooh, I like that. I don't even know how.
It was a long road for me. I just finally figured it out in my life.
But we love. Oh yeah, no one knows Chelsea's new bias.
Yeah,
I
do.
And we love it. We support it.
We'll talk about it during the live show on the 27th on Melanie's channel.
This one.
Links are down below, but also that's Melanie down there.
Do you like how I introduced myself today in the Contemporary-a-thon thing?
Yes.
I haven't watched it yet.
Dumbass.
Don't watch it.
Excuse me, I gave you a shout out in mine and you didn't watch it? Okay.
You gave me
Yeah.
Maybe if you would go read the challenge, we would know why.
Today was a hard day at work. I didn't even watch any videos.
And not only I gave Chelsea the shout out, but I was like a little shithead about it. I was like, this book is called like The Hating Game or something.
I almost shouted myself out and I was like, that's a little sus.
Gamers only. No, what I do is whenever any of you three upload a video, it'll be in my feed in the morning. And I add it to my watch later, open, like it, and then close out, and then I watch it later.
Same. I do the same.
That smells like 2 hits to me.
Like,
Yeah.
Hit that bell for notifications every time I post a video.
Same. Listen, I have all of y'all notifications turned on.
Yes.
Who do you think I am?
Although low-key, I'm like, when you upload a video, I know beforehand.
Why are you posting a video, Madalyn?
Oh,
no pressure.
We're over here, Madalyn.
No idea. Maybe it won't be until we do the live show for LAIR of Dreams.
So sometime in September, we're definitely having a video on Hello Novel Inc.
Yeah.
Because Madalyn gonna be doing the Contemporary-a-thon. Okay.
Yeah. I promise I'll get my life together.
Vlog the Contemporary-a-thon, Madalyn.
I will.
Are you daily vlogging, Jane? Are you going to say that on Chelsea's channel?
Cool. I'm not going to put that on the internet just yet.
You did great. I was so proud of you. You did so good.
You killed me.
Your vlogs were way better than my vlogs.
I felt like they were a mess. I probably will daily vlog, to be honest, because like the Contemporary-a-thon is my favorite readathon.
And hashtag creepy. I'm like, I always like it when you do bath bombs because I love your bathtub.
Oh, my big ass bath. Yeah.
Especially after our text today. Oh my god. Okay, we'll say okay. I'm gonna say 2 things. The first thing I'm gonna say is, okay, any diviners questions, ask them.
I can cry.
And then number 2, me and Jane in the hotel in California, and she started singing Taylor Swift, and she had a dress on, and I had a gray t-shirt on. I don't know.
We had just come back from being at the exhibition all day, and we're like feeling emo, and
Jane
and I were sitting on the bed in silence, just like looking through our stuff or whatever. And I just did that Taylor Swift lyric. I was like, "Today was a fairy tale. I wore a dress. You wore a dress."
And I had a dark gray t-shirt.
Oh my god.
And Jane she was gone. Like banshee cackle.
It was like Chelsea. It was like Jin laughing for an hour.
Oh
like
my god. No. I will say, not to spoil anything, but now that I've figured out my life in regards to BTS, which I'm not going to spoil, I appreciate Jin a lot more now that I don't have to like.
Me and Jane are so biased towards people who bias Jin. Like, if you want to be our best friend, like, be a Jin.
Look at Madalyn. They're like,
Madalyn.
Oh, if you don't know, I don't know anything about BTS except what I've heard from these three. Like nothing.
And even me, I know nothing in comparison to those two.
Jane's the queen. I'm her humble apprentice.
Yeah.
Melanie, you cut on fast. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thirst will do that too.
You're everything Jane needed that I couldn't be for her.
Yeah.
We love your bias a lot, Neville.
That'll be for the 27th.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys.
And it'll be my very first live show up on the YouTubes ever. So, you know.
And it's on Melanie's birthday, so you have to be nice to her.
Are you going to open your presents before the show?
I do not know. Well, the Magic Fest thing ends like the 25th, and then WoW Classic starts at 3 p.m. my time, the 26th. So I'm gonna be on that grind. Yeah. And then I don't know. I'm gonna do a video though. I haven't said this on social media yet, but I am gonna do a video because I have so many gifts from people in the book community. The book community is too kind to me, too fucking kind to me. So I'm gonna do an unboxing video.
I just sent you something today through Amazon. There's also going to be something else coming whenever I pledged a Kickstarter, and I don't know when the fuck it's coming. So, it'll come at some point in your life.
Yeah, they're too kind. Yeah, I'm gonna save y'all's packages for last, for sure. I know I'm gonna cry a lot. I cry a lot all the time, anyways. But like, I keep it not crying on the camera. But like, I know I'm gonna be a hot mess that video.
I remember last year. That was when I had first really started like obsessing over you, watching your Insta story of you unboxing your presents. And I was like not getting pissed, but I was like watching it in real time. So I was like, where's the next one? Where's the next one?
Yeah. People were really too kind to me last year. But this year I'm like, yeah, it's so funny too, because like people like I was showing my little brother and he was like, what is that? What is all that? And I was like, the book community's wild. Can't believe my life.
It's just not to get sappy, but like it's so funny or like just weird to think about that like Melanie's birthday last year, I had only known you for like 2 weeks and I was like, I just like feel this connection to Melanie. I feel like I should get her a present. Like I just feel like we're gonna be really good friends. And now here we are.
And I think I think I read all of the books. Oh God, I didn't read Leah's. Leah got me Graceland, and I didn't read Graceland yet. But I read the majority of books that people got me. The Summer of Salt is what Madalyn got me, and it was my favorite. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love you all so much.
We weren't even friends for her birthday last year.
I know. I wanted to fucking be, but you never got back to my comments.
You fucking drag me for that every time.
I had that same experience with Jane, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. I literally have always loved Jane's. Jane's always been one of my favorite booktubers. Like I always say her and then Adriana for Perpetual Pages. Those were like my two like favorite booktubers before I had book friends. And Adriana, they always write back to me. Jane, she'd be like, leave you on red, bitch. I was like, okay.
That is so funny to me because I had such a bizarre Jane experience because it's so different from everybody else's. Like Jane was all up in my life and I was about it.
That is weird. Chelsea is, honest to God, the only person that I have done that with. Most of them, I just feel very awkward about initiating contact. And also, this is something about me. If anyone watching in the chat feels offended when I don't respond to your comments, I went through a period of time where like responding to comments caused me such anxiety.
It makes you really anxious, yeah.
I just would never respond to comments. I felt very like pressured to have like a good substantive response. And I think I just finally had to get over that this year. And so now I'm like, you know what? Sometimes an emoji is an appropriate response and that's sufficient. Yeah. But like, especially Melanie, I remember Melanie would comment on my videos and this is something, wow, we don't have to get too deep on the,
I was just saying,
but this is something I talked to Madalyn about a lot. Melanie would comment on my videos and it was always so genuine and so kind and so like effusive. And I was like, I don't know how to respond to this. Yeah. If you know my personality, you know, like, I don't know what to do with that. Like you come at me with feelings and I'm just like,
no thanks.
And so Melanie was just like so nice. And I remember telling Madalyn, I was like, I don't know how to be friends with this person. She's so kind and I'm not. And hopefully it all worked out, but that's why I never responded.
The first thing being like, I'm always up for a motherfucking challenge. Always. Like that shit gets me going. Okay. And then number two, I always get Jane in soft hours now, and it just means more, you know, like the work I put in.
You bring out a different side of Jane.
Madalyn and I were talking about that too. Like, Melanie, you bring out the side of Jane that like we get in the group chat, but you make Jane bring it to the public.
Yeah,
it's lovely.
It's remarkable.
Lol, so good. Yeah.
I get the thirst going for sure.
I feel like we all have really interesting like friendship stories. Not interesting, but like odd friendship stories. Like I feel like we just like it just happened.
Yeah.
EA 2018 was it, Madalyn. I mean, like, well, Chelsea and I met for the first time then too, but we had talked before. But like Madalyn, I remember I was like live tweeting my journey to New York because I was flying Delta and having like a crazy experience. And Madalyn responded, now I know because it's like Delta. but Madalyn replied to a couple of my tweets and I saw that she was going to be EA too. So I think I like followed you or whatever. And then Chelsea and I had planned to go to lunch and Chelsea was like, hey, is it cool if Madalyn joins us? And I was like, oh shit, yeah. Like
I don't even know how that honestly, I have no idea how that happened. I don't remember.
You and I had hung out the night before at the Goodreads party.
I remember that. I just don't remember being like I don't remember connecting the dots between the three of us, except for the fact that we all went to lunch.
Yeah, I think maybe y'all had like met up earlier in the day or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
And it was like, yeah, like let's all go to lunch. And that lunch, that Shake Shack, changed everything.
It did. It really did.
That's why.
And then committing, slipping into your text messages like 3 months later, like, do you guys still want to go to LA? Like,
yeah,
because I do.
Yeah. We met and immediately were like, we're going to go to Seattle together next year.
Yeah. Literally that same day that we had lunch.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm thinking of going to ALA.
And I was like, I don't even know what that is, but I want to be your friend. Yes, please. Thanks.
I still don't know how to register for it.
It's so easy. Yeah.
That's what y'all tell me. And I'm still
I don't agree. I hated registering for ALA.
The process is simple. The questions they ask you are a little weird if you're a reviewer.
It's awkward.
They are weird, yeah.
Any hoozle. Basically, this is like sad boy hours, and we love each other a lot.
Yeah.
Like, literally, we talk all day. Like, I have so many unresponded to text messages on my phone, like, unread, but our group chat thrives all day long.
Yeah.
And it's always different.
It's different at all times of day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You never know what you're getting into.
And, like, there's always someone up no matter what time it is.
Yeah.
No matter what time it is.
Normally Madalyn though.
Not anymore.
No, was popping off. And
she has.
Morning and I had 20 texts between the two of y'all.
I've been sleeping lately.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, genuinely.
I am literally
Me too.
You needed it.
I know.
That weighted blanket. I'm so proud of you.
Ooh, you got one?
Oh yeah, the weighted blanket has changed everything.
I want one.
I just bought one.
Because of
you.
Yes.
I need a weighted blanket.
You gotta
the
get one.
only thing I'll say is like getting used to it though. It's hard to wake up.
Ooh.
That's fair. That's fair.
So like try it on a weekend first.
Mm-hmm.
But it changed my life as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Madalyn's been going to sleep at a decent time. We're so proud.
I remember when we were in New York, your insomnia was really bad.
Yeah, it was so bad.
So bad because I was passed out.
I know, and I was just laying there like, oh my god.
I don't remember because I don't remember how it was for BookCon this year because I literally just.
Oh, I slept during BookCon. Also, we were out till like 2 or 3 a.m. every night, so I slept.
And we fucking rallied, all right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
We're adults.
I don't remember. Somebody was trying to like poke fun at me at BookCon because I had stayed out until 2 a.m. the night before and got up at 8 and went back. And I was like, it's vacation, bitch. I'm ready.
Yeah. That's it. What we did when I was in LA this past weekend, I woke up at 3:30 a.m. my time. And I didn't go to sleep until 2:30 a.m. Pacific time. And so that was a wild 26 hours of being awake.
That Friday was insane.
It was crazy.
The best part about the Friday, like this is like how, again, like how much like the spectrum of our friendship, like I could tell Chelsea had to fucking go. Like she was so tired. And then Jane's just like, I just want to spend time with my friends. And then I'm just sitting here like, Jane, Chelsea, like one of y'all better make this decision like right now. You know,
Chelsea wouldn't do it.
And I was not gonna say that we should go. So I'm just sitting there.
We needed Madalyn. Madalyn would have whipped our asses.
Yeah, Madalyn would have been like, go to Pakistan.
No.
So my ass stayed awake until 1:30 when I had to get up at 3 a.m. for my flight at 6.
And we weren't even doing anything. We're just like watching music videos.
Just watching BTS videos on repeat. And then old school music videos.
Yeah. And slow hands.
Oh yeah. It was wild. I woke up to my alarm and like immediately, like I don't drink coffee very often. I drank my entire pot of coffee.
Wow.
Like, and then made coffee to go and just like sat there like, and I thought I'd have more time going through security, but I didn't. So I was just like chugging it before I.
Did you end up taking a nap? I never asked you.
I definitely like knocked out on the plane for like at least an hour straight, which does not happen for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it was great. I also peed like 3 times on the flight. Love that.
I'm breaking the coffee seals of thing as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we've not talked about the diviners in like half an hour.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to end the live show. Madalyn needs to keep her sleep schedule.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Fingers crossed.
You got that, baby.
All right. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Thanks for talking about the diviners. Make sure to join us next month on Friday the 13th on Madalyn's channel. Right there. That one. 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST is going to be a good time. And then I believe Melanie will probably right after this or sometime tonight will post the page breakdown for LAIR of Dreams on Twitter. So you can read along with us if you so choose.
Yes.
Yes. I hope that you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, thank you all for participating too.
Yeah.
It like made us really soft that like so many people participated and really enjoyed it. And we're so excited to keep reading. So hopefully you guys keep reading with us.
Because shit hits the fan.
Yeah. And we want people to talk about it with.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you. We'll see you on August 27th on Melanie's channel for the BTS birthday chats. But we will all be together to chat about the diviners again next month. So we'll see you then. Keep it spooky. Keep it reading. And
see you Friday the 13th.
Yeah. And listen to BTS. Okay, bye. Bye. I tried to be like,
it's alive.